And let's just start, because we always talk to Donna around the holidays and stuff like that, but we know your need is constant. And we know the numbers are growing, as we speak. So talk about what you need now between the end of the year and then going into after vacation with the kids and all that stuff, because I know you support so many schools. So kind of give us a background on how many schools that get supported, how do they get supported when they're on vacation, and what are some of the needs and goals that you have right now?
Okay. So through our backpack nutrition program, we're supporting 225 children every week at 8 Hartford schools. We are delivering backpacks with food to get the children through the weekend, breakfast and lunch items, snacks, etc. When the children are on recess, what we try to do is the week before is double up on the amount of food that we're sending home. Because we've kept this program very child specific, we want to make sure that the children are receiving these bags in a way where it's not going to provide any type of stigma or any embarrassment that they have to bring this home because there's a need. We've kept the items very child specific. So we're looking, the items that we include are oatmeal, chicken noodle soup, granola bars, etc. Because if there's a need in the home, then what we encourage is for the parents to come into our pantry and grocery shop for the household. So that's the model that we've always kept, the model that we feel provides dignity, not only for the child, but the whole household, that they can come in as well and visit our community pantry and shop for their home, because that's actually what they're doing. We don't prepackage any groceries. People get to choose what it is that they're going to bring home with them.
I want to get back to this pantry, but I got to talk about this first before we move on. You mentioned 225 kids in the Hartford area. That's a lot of kids. And people don't understand how many families that you're talking about, because that is just a sliver of the need that goes on at Hands On Hartford. Talk about the more of the need in the full family aspect of the mom, the dad, the kids, and everyone else that comes through Hands On Hartford.
Sure. So I can tell you that in January of this year, we started serving 650 households. Last October, when we looked at our numbers, we served over 1,000 households, 1,042 to be exact.
Grew that way from
Yes.
600 to 1,000 in a couple of months.
Yes. So this means, right, that the need of keeping our shelves stocked has become greater. We know that food costs have increased. I know I've seen it at the grocery store.
Absolutely.
So our families are facing the same things, right? SNAP benefits don't reach as far. So people use pantries like ours to supplement the needs of their home, themselves, their families, their households. And because we really want to provide the experience of people actually picking the food that they're going to bring home, we try to keep a variety of items. And we also focus on nutrition. So we provide milk, eggs, fresh produce. We have a wonderful partnership with Connecticut Food Share, where we obtain most of our food. We also rely, though, on donations, food donations, and financial contributions, because we want to rise up and do a little more. So our goal is to provide 20% of what folks are taking home, fresh food. We did have to make a very hard decision this year when our numbers increased. We were giving households 55 pounds of food, and we had to drop that to 42 to meet this need. It was a really hard decision. It was hard on all of us to have to do that. But we wanted to feed everyone that came through the door. We wanted to make sure that we got to every household that came to our door.
Talking to Donna Menacchio and Janet Bermudez from Hands On Hartford. Donna, talk about not just the kids. There's also a lot of homeless people that are coming to you and you're feeding daily and things like that. Talk about that program where people can come through your doors and that aren't in a household.
Great. Yes, first of all, thanks to you, Ben and Rob, for letting us come on today and, as usual, talking about the needs of our community and how people can help respond to that. Hands On Hartford has a restaurant called Gather 55 that is open Monday through Thursday for breakfast and lunch. Anybody can come and eat. Anybody. whoever
there
you are.
several times.
Yes,
Love
you
going there.
have.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. It's time for you to be back again, Ben. The minimum cost of a meal is $2 for breakfast and lunch. If you have it, you pay the $2. If you are not able to have pay, you volunteer for half an hour. And I was there today for lunch. I paid for my lunch, but had the opportunity to be served by several of the volunteers. One gentleman sat with me for a little while who was a volunteer and talked to me how great it was that there was a place like Gather 55 where he could come and work for his lunch, and felt such a purpose around that, a sense of purpose around it. And again, thinking going back to what Janet was saying, so much of what Hands On Hartford does is really to meet the dignity of every person. And this is just another way that happens. So come to have breakfast or lunch. If you can pay, terrific. Based on the need you've already heard, we need that as well. The restaurant is also open in the evening, Wednesday through Saturday, where it's a fixed price, either 2 or 3 courses. Every month we have a different chef. This month our guest chef is Rob Mafucci, who is also the director of food and something else. I'm sorry, I don't know his exact title. He is well known in the Hartford area. He's had many restaurants. He's a great asset to the team at Hands On Hartford. But this month he's the guest chef. And he told me today that he's prepared his menu items: lobster ravioli,
Shut up.
chicken cacciatore,
Awesome.
and ricotta cake. So, and if those sound appealing to anybody, I encourage you to come and make a reservation. You can find that online. But the evening meal enables us to generate economic support for the pantry, for the meals at breakfast and lunch, and for other programs at Hands On Hartford.
Gather 55, the name of that restaurant. 55 is a big part of that. 55 Bartholomew Avenue is where that comes from. That's the location downtown Hartford that Hands On Hartford is located. Janet, Donna's taken Rob and I through Hands On Hartford several times, and we were one of the first people that got to see the new facility when it finally opened. And now it's been cooking for a long time now. And the thing that amazed us the most, and still does me, and you were kind of talking about it when you were talking about the backpack program, is how well thought out everything is. Like, beyond of just getting people the resources they need, it's what kind of resources. You really are big on nutrition and actually getting healthier people out there. And also you respect everyone's religion as far as what kinds of foods they can or cannot eat. Talk about some more of those details that go into the things of just the community pantry and hooking people up with as much food as you possibly can.
Right. So with the pantry, as you mentioned, so we do pay attention to those things because we want folks to feel welcomed. We want folks to know that we are trying our best to meet their needs and meet them where they're at. So we do provide things like halal meat for people that have religious restrictions, dietary restrictions. We also, when we're working, let's say, with folks who are experiencing homelessness, we want to meet them where they're at. There's a lot of trust and connection that needs to get built. So we go out to them. There's never this expectation of this is what you need to do and these are the things that we're going to work on. It's more, where are you at? How can we help you? How can we keep you safe outside until you are ready to work on that housing plan? So I think it's really having that dialogue, having those conversations with the folks that are coming to our door and seeing where is it that we can assist. We really try to meet all those needs and accommodate as many specificities that we can and that we're able to. But I think that that's really our approach, is that human connection, remembering that everyone has a story. Everyone's story is different, and that we have to respect that in order to start to work with them.
Talking to Donna Menacchio and Janet Bermudez from Hands On Hartford, and I'll throw this at both of you ladies. Having worked with the homeless for many, many years, a lot of people don't notice them, don't see them, but they're out there, and it's getting colder, and a lot of them don't even want to come in. They don't want to go to shelters or whatever. They have the way they live their lives, and some of them want to be out there and stuff like that. But it seems like they're getting older. I just met a gentleman that, recently Ben and I were out and doing one of our remotes, and he came up, he said, I lost my house, my wife died, things like that, just happened. And there's more and more people that are despondent like that now than ever. So can you describe some of the people that, they didn't want to get to where they are right now, but you still respect their dignity. You're so respectful of them, but you're still trying to help them. And sometimes they don't even want the help.
Yeah, so different life circumstances. As I mentioned, everyone has a different story. And what we're seeing is folks 60 and older. Those numbers have increased. Because of that, our team is really focused on working with the elderly who are experiencing homelessness. Our team does go out 5 nights a week. They're out until 10 p.m., trying to engage with folks. And it's difficult because there are folks that really are hesitant for a variety of reasons. Maybe this is the first time they're going through this. Maybe it's hard to ask for help, or they feel like they've been burnt by the system. It could be such a variety of things. So the team really takes the time to meet folks, engage, have conversation, meet those first basic needs. Something like an umbrella, believe it or not, might get the person to give you their name, because we had that happen to us. Bringing a blanket, saying, do you have, any snacks to get you through the night until you can get a meal the next day? Just those basic conversations starts to open that door. And sometimes the path can be from actual street homelessness into their own housing, and maybe not even going into shelter. Everybody's path is different, and we respect that as well.
Time, talent, and treasure, something you said before we started. I love these 3 T's. I'm going to keep that in my vernacular for the rest of my life. Treasure, obviously, you talked about the financial need that's always there for Hands On Hartford. HandsOnHartford.org. I can't say this website enough, by the way, if you want to donate or find out more. The talent, what Chef's doing with Gather 55, that's just one great example. But the time, everyone has that. And talk about the volunteer opportunities, because it feels like every time I'm in Gather 55, some new person is making a cappuccino for me. And you guys have so many people, and we all do in this community, that are willing to help. They just don't know where to go.
Yeah. There's so many ways volunteers create or live out the mission of Hands On Hartford. We could not do what we do without volunteers. That's the number one thing. Some people work in Gather 55. Other people come every week and work in the pantry. Other people come every week and fill the backpacks for the nutrition program that get delivered to schools. Other people come in with a particular skill set and serve on a committee that's looking at a variety of things, housing, development. We have people on the board of directors, so there's so many ways. So if you are a person who has a particular skill, or you're listening today and you're thinking, I might like to go out and help out, check out online for sure. There are long-term opportunities, and then there are short-term opportunities. So Hands On Hartford serves a community meal every holiday. Coming up will be Christmas and New Year's. I don't know the status of volunteers for those 2 dates, but you could call, and we need people to come work in the kitchen, to serve the meal, to decorate, to help clean up, to work with the kids distributing the toys. So there's always a place for a person. We'll work really hard to try to find that perfect place for you if you have time, because it makes such a difference. And sometimes the time is just sitting and talking to people.
Right.
And just making another person feel welcome, hearing somebody else's story is so very powerful. It will change them, and it will change you. I can testify to that. I've been a almost 25-year volunteer with Hands On Hartford, and it's changed my life and the life of our family. And so, there's many ways. Volunteer, you give, but you also receive. One of the sayings at Hands On Hartford is that everybody has a gift to give, and everybody has something to receive. And that's true for every single person who walks in the door.
Well, Donna and Janet, God bless you both. Remember, handsonhartford.org if you want to volunteer, give money, give food, etc. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having us. Thanks, guys.